What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. So I'm actually supposed to be studying for finals right now, but I couldn't help myself. It's just too much going on in the investing world right now. For starters, Microsoft just hit a 1 trillion market capitalization. That's crazy. The technology sector is going crazy. Apple's testing its new all-time highs. Facebook is going up, Twitter's going up. The social media is finally getting in on the technology action. It's crazy. But there's one tech company that is actually taking some substantial hits right now, and that company is Tesla. Tesla actually, they just went down to a price of $252 this morning after earnings released, and they missed their earnings estimates from the projected negative 69 cents per share to like $2.50 per share. And so on that news, the price went down from 264 to 252, and it's actually going to look to retest this 52-week low of $247. So I would definitely be on the lookout for that. But before I get into the Tesla's current price, let's take a look at Tesla as a company. So Tesla, the CEO of Tesla is Elon Musk, and for this company that's extremely important because Elon Musk is one of those genius type CEOs that really has that future insight on the technology that's either going to make or break this company. So Tesla stock ticker TSLA, it was priced at $264 like 2 days ago when I was originally going to make this video, but now it's at $252 with a 52-week high of 387 and a 52-week low of 247. Tesla's one of the most volatile stocks, if not the most volatile stock in the stock market right now, which is actually why I stopped owning Tesla stock, because it just fluctuated too much for me. Some days I would open my account and I would feel like I just became the next Warren Buffett, and then some days I would check my account and feel like, hey, maybe I just need to quit investing altogether. So for that reason, not because of the company Tesla itself, but because of how the stock acted independently from the Tesla company, I had to sell my shares at least for now. But at this price, this is an extremely attractive price for a company that has a lot of growth potential, and I'll kind of get into that in just a second. But before I do that, it's also important to note, I always talk about the P ratio. Tesla is currently operating at a loss. So for all the revenue they're bringing in, for all the Tesla cars you see out on the streets right now, especially in Miami, I see more and more and more Teslas every day. Like, it's really crazy the amount of Teslas I see every single day on the road. And so that's one of the reasons for me personally why I really feel passionately about this company, because I see it in my personal life every day. And they also have a market capitalization of 45.3 billion. But again, so just as you're learning to invest, this is a 45.3 billion market capitalization. Microsoft has a 1 trillion. So that just kind of shows you just how big Microsoft is. But anyways, so Tesla. Tesla debuted their first car in 2003. They built their first car in 2003. Tesla's Elon Musk's Roadster, which has actually been to space through the SpaceX program, so it's pretty cool. In 2008, the Roadster launched to the general public. It was an expensive car, but those who are in the market for luxury vehicles were actually able to go ahead and purchase the Roadster. 2017 comes, and now they're releasing the Model 3 for $35,000. And that was huge because that allowed a lot of people who previously couldn't afford a nice high-end electric vehicle to actually go ahead and purchase the Model 3. So now that's part of the reason why you're starting to see all these Teslas on the road, because they've hit a price point that a lot more people can afford. But it's important to note that Tesla is not just a car company, okay? They don't just make electric cars. They have products called Power Pack, Powerwall, Solar Roof, that all provide solar energy to houses, and they've just, they're in the very early stages of of implementing that, and that's for a lot of different reasons, as far as like government taxes, government incentives, and all those things. So they're in the very early stages of that. And then they also have a gigafactory, and they're building another gigafactory in Shanghai that's going to open. It's supposed to open by Q4 of 2019, but definitely by 2020 they should have that gigafactory up and running. And so what the gigafactory does, the first gigafactory was built in Las Vegas. They build all the batteries for the Tesla cars. And as they do that, and as they get better with that process, the price of the Tesla car will get cheaper, and it also puts them ahead of the other electric cars that are competing in the industry today. So that kind of explains where Tesla was and where they've come. So now let's look at why you'd want to buy Tesla now. So a lot of this growth, again, is already priced into this price, and it's still a little high. Because it is an expensive stock relative to the earnings, they're still operating at a net loss. So, like, why do you want to buy Tesla for the future? So I think the biggest thing is the self-driving capabilities. Elon Musk, in the Q2 report, he actually announced to shareholders, he was trying to explain it, and again, because it's new technology, it's hard to explain to the average person who's not like the greatest engineer in the world. Like it's hard for me to understand. But essentially what he was saying is that the Tesla cars that are already on the road, the million Tesla cars that are already on the road, have self-driving capabilities that can be installed simply by updating the programming in the car on that big tablet that's inside the car that sits there. And so what that does is, say you own a Tesla. When you go to work, that Tesla could self-drive and be an Uber and make you money while you're at work or while you're at school. So not only do you not have to worry about parking, but your car can actually go out there and make money for you while you're at work. So that's pretty cool. And then two, say you want to get a job and you live in Prince George's County, Maryland, and you want to work in Arlington. That is like a 1 hour, 2 hour potentially commute with traffic. And so that's not something that you would want to do if you have to drive yourself. But with the self-driving capabilities, your car can serve as your office. You can spend the first 2 hours of your day in your car. You don't have to worry about driving. You can do your reading for the day. You can watch the news. You can watch a movie on Netflix on your way to work. And so instead of that time being very high stress with people honking at you and people trying to cut you off, you don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. And so that time becomes your leisure time. And if you have that, I mean, this Tesla car just becomes so much more valuable than any car that doesn't have this technology in the market now. So that's awesome. And then again, the electric vehicles right now, if you're buying a new car, it doesn't make sense to invest in a gasoline car. Like, it really doesn't. Gas prices are going up. They were like $2 at the beginning of the year. They're already at like $3 now. And so in the next like 5 years, like it wouldn't make sense to buy a gas car, basically. And then the gigafactories. They're building this gigafactory, but they're also building it in China, which is like the biggest market for cars and for electric cars and for self-driving cars. You know, I was talking about the commutes in the Washington D.C. area. Just think about the commutes that are going on in China. You have Shanghai, and then you have the rest of China. So there is even greater demand for this type of self-driving capability and the electric cars in China. And so if they complete this gigafactory, which they're supposed to complete by 2020, and they get this up and running in China, this opens themselves up to an entirely new market, and then they can start, building Tesla cars at a factory in China, and now they're operating in the two biggest markets in the world. So this is a reason, again, why you would want to buy Tesla for like future growth. And then finally, the brand and Elon, the GOAT. So when you're investing in a company like this that is dependent on a lot of groundbreaking technology, it's important to trust the CEO and to really believe in him. So Elon Musk, he created PayPal. He's created a bunch of other like companies that have gone on to increase in revenue by like exponential rates. I mean, he's a genius. This guy has he taught himself to code at like the age of 11 or 13. And he really believes in advancing the human race forward. He spends half of his time at Tesla and half of his time at SpaceX, where they send rocket ships up into space. So I really trust that Elon Musk and the self-driving technology he's building could potentially be superior to that of any other company that's out there right now. Cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about Tesla and learned something about the company. There's still a lot of uncertainty about the company right now, but I do think that overall the company has a lot of room to grow. Again, as always, you should not buy or sell stock based solely off what you hear on this page. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Godspeed.